we have finished Maharshi's preface. Now we will go into the essence of Maharishi's introduction on Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is the light of life lit by God at the altar of man. It is a scripture which outlives time and given to us to save humanity from the darkness of ignorance and suffering. It is indispensable to the life of any man in any age, and it is the encyclopedia of life. Bhagavad Gita presents the science of life and the art of living. It teaches how to be, how to think, and how to do. It glorifies every aspect of life through contact with the inner being, and it is like watering the root and making the whole tree green. It surpasses any practical wisdom of life ever cherished by human society. There will always be confusion and chaos in the relative fields of life, and man's mind will always fall into error and indecision. Bhagavad Gita is like an anchor for the ship of life sailing on the turbulent waves of time. It will always be there to rescue man in any situation, and it is a complete guide to practical life. The Bhagavad Gita has a greater number of commentaries than any other known scripture. Wise commentators, in their attempt to fulfill the need of their times, have revealed this truth of the teaching as they found it. By so doing, they have secured a place in the history of human thought. They have fathomed great depths of the ocean of wisdom, and they stand out as torch bearers on the long corridor of time. Yet, with all their glorious achievements, they have not brought out the central point of the Bhagavad Gita. There are so many commentaries to extol the wisdom of the paths of knowledge, devotion, and action in the Bhagavad Gita, but none to show that it provides a master key to open the gates of all these different highways of human evolution simultaneously. No commentary has yet shown that through one simple technique proclaimed in the Bhagavad Gita, any man, without having to renounce his way of life, can enjoy the blessings of all these paths. The Bhagavad Gita needs a commentary which restates in simple words the essential teaching and technique given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield. So this commentary has been written to present that key to mankind and preserve it for generations to come. The Bhagavad Gita is the scripture of yoga, the scripture of divine union. Its purpose is to explain in theory and practice all that is needed to raise the consciousness of man to the highest possible level. This teaching is suitable to every level of human evolution. Fundamentally, there are 4 levels of consciousness, on each of which the nature of the practice changes. And these 4 states are the waking state, the transcendental consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, and God consciousness. Every teaching of the Bhagavad Gita has its application on each of these planes of development. So every expression must therefore be interpreted in 4 different ways to explain, both in theory and in practice. And this is the ascending progression of the discourse on each of these 4 different levels. It is very obvious that Bhagavad Gita as a whole must be interpreted in 4 different ways so that the whole path of God realization may be explained clearly. Since it has not yet been interpreted in this manner, the true message of the scripture has remained dormant. It is highly important that these 4 commentaries should be written, not only to do justice to the scripture, but also to present a straight path to the seeker and bring him the profound wisdom of this practical philosophy. There are 6 systems of Indian philosophy: Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Samkhya, Yoga, Karma Mimamsa, and Vedanta. In order to be complete, every aspect of the theory and practice at any stage of development must be verifiable by all these 6 systems simultaneously. So, in essence, there has to be the 6 interpretations of each of the 4 commentaries in order to bring to light the complete significance of the Bhagavad Gita. The present commentary should be regarded as a general basis for these 24 commentaries. If time allows, these commentaries will be written. This is what Maharshi Ji has said. But time did not allow and he left the void. Now, continuing with what Maharshi Ji has said, because the world is in such urgent need of the basic principle of spiritual development, it has been thought necessary to bring out the present commentary without further loss of time. It is important for the reader to know that this commentary is being brought out only after the technique has been verified in the lives of thousands of people of different nationalities throughout the world. And this verification of the technique and the knowledge has been brought forth under the auspices of the spiritual regeneration movement, founded with the sole purpose of spiritually regenerating the lives of all men in every part of the world. It presents a truth that is timeless and universal, a truth of life equally suited to all men, irrespective of differences of faith, culture, or nationality. The overall conception of this commentary is supplementary to the unique vision and profound wisdom of the great Shankara as set forth in his Gita Bhashya. The wisdom is a gift from Gurudev, all glory to him. It presents the light of life and sets the stream of life to find its fulfillment in the ocean of eternal being, in devotion to God and in the bliss of God consciousness. He ends by saying, "May every man make use of the practical wisdom given in the 45th verse of the 2nd chapter and thereby glorify all aspects of his life and gain eternal freedom in divine consciousness." Jai Gurudev, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य